But
let me guess, Aaron Judge.
Of course it's Aaron Judge! 170 last year. He was up only a little bit, but obviously he's made huge in his swing. He has definitely made huge strides in correcting it or altering. He has his eye on the ball. He can end the season, with the Triple Crown. Hopefully, maybe it just.
Well, as of right now, he's leading in home runs, batting average, slugging percentage, and on base percentage.
Yeah, but at
MLB.
the same time, you have Corey Bellinger over on the West Coast too. Not Aaron Judge. But both of them as rookies. I mean, I thought it was pretty impressive when we had Bryce Harper and Mike Trout and Cespedes. But these two alone can, I feel, outshine all three of them.
And I love the rookies. New rookies coming in and adding that revitalization energy. It seems like it started with the Trout, Hamilton.
Trout, I might have pushed it. I might have pushed it on Trout, though, because Trout's really good. I might have pushed the outshining on Trout, but definitely
Trout's
Bryce
also
Harper.
been injured.
But, the other surprise, I think, is that, the Cardinals and the Giants have losing records.
They're terrible. I didn't see the Giants being this awful.
That's my big surprise. Well, I'm going to ruin it because the thing that surprised me the most is that the A's aren't the worst team in the Bay.
No, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is like Moneyball all over again.
That's literally how I had it worded. The A's are not the worst team in the Bay.
They're really not.
That, and look at that National League West,
which is impressive considering the fact that Oakland's 21 games back.
In all fairness,
San Diego,
Houston
and San
is killing it.
Houston is awesome.
Yeah,
you take Houston out, the A's aren't that far back.
Well, no, that's very true. They're also in what is looking to be the hardest division to win in baseball.
It looks it because even the A's aren't playing too poorly.
You mean the Houston Diamondbacks?
Not
Diamondbacks. Sorry, no, the Houston
Astros.
Yeah, that's not what I'm going to call them. Right?
Yeah.
What's that team that we have up there in Troy?
Valley Cats.
Valley Cats? Yeah, that's what they should be, the Houston Valley Cats, because most of that team is built from there anyway.
Yeah, they definitely
They
are.
have a lot of players that were on that team 2 years ago that won the championship. And now they're lighting it up together.
I want to see the Houston Astros versus the Yankees in the playoffs. I want to see that.
LCS.
And I want to see what these pitchers
have
for these Yankee batters and see what can happen.
I have my own feelings on the LCS.
Okay. Dan Beebe, what is your biggest surprise of the season?
Biggest surprise is how the Cubs are currently under 500 after the first half.
That's a good one.
And it's the same team. It's like the same team.
They didn't really lose many people. They lost a few
people. They lost Ross to Dancing with the Stars.
But it's not
They
enough.
Lost Rollins Chapman.
But it's not enough of a loss to be this big of a change. That's the thing. They didn't lose enough to be this different of a
Jake
team.
Arrieta's pitching slower.
Especially too when you have
am I going to get fired for that? Sorry,
You're
guys.
getting demoted. We're sending you down to make your recordings on cassette tapes.
No, not cassettes.
Especially when they claim like a team, like Milwaukee is still currently rebuilding, and you have the Cubs sitting there, and
Yeah,
and who did they send down to the minors?
The catcher?
No, what was his name?
Modero.
The cat that came up and hit big in the World Series.
Oh, not Chris Bryant.
Schwarber.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, yeah.
Well, they sent him back down to the minors to get
his swing right.
Get his swing right.
What I think if I remember seeing it correctly, he's also a little injured, and it's causing problems up in his shoulder. So it might be rehab that they sent him down there.
It could be, but even that with these issues, the Cubs should not be. There's not enough change on that team to explain why they're under 500 at the halfway point. Doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you why. They're riding off of emotion, and that emotion's gone.
Maybe. I mean,
because they're not a bad team.
No,
really
and
not.
you also got to look at it. Would they be under 500 if the NL Central wasn't as good as it is?
Not to mention, don't count out Madden taking them on a field trip to Six Flags and it turns the team around all of a sudden because he'll do some goofy stuff.
All right, guys, we're gonna stop eating pork and beans, and we're gonna start eating KFC. Oh wait, no, that's the Red Sox thing. Okay, we're gonna have to change that up again.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. That's it.
On that team right now, to me, it looks like Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo are the only ones that are actually like invested in playing. Everyone else seems like they're.
We got our
something's ring. Yeah, something's missing.
They all got that huge contract.
It could be the World Series hangover for them in some degree. I can attribute that to some of their losses, but none of that really makes it understandable to be under 500 at this point.
And the funny thing is, we're talking about this, and if there's any Cubs fans listening out there, they're just like, guess what? We got our championship. We don't care.
Yeah, no.
We got it.
Cubs fans are probably thrilled, and they'll take whatever they can get, but, I mean, it's surprising from an outside perspective. I mean, that's just what it is. You don't expect the defending champ to be like that.
It's also not the first time, too, that a defending World Series champ has fallen right into the cellar. I mean, we've seen it before with, well, not San Francisco this year. I mean, it's no excuse this year, but I believe 1 year after they...
2012 they were bad?
Yeah.
They weren't this bad. But they were bad.
But they had a last place team after winning a World Series, and, that being part of a, dynasty franchise.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's that I don't even know, intangible craziness that is like a hangover.
You get on top, you get a little bit civilized.
It really is. It's all I can think of is just the hangover.
All right, so guys, I'm going to ask you, we'll do this process democratically. Do we want to say who we think is going to make the playoffs, or should we save that for a later time?
I think
it's good.
I mean, I don't know. I think we should go more in depth with it quickly. Right now, I say knee-jerk reaction. Who do you think at this moment is playing in the World Series? I think that's what we do.
Playing in the World Series?
Who are the two playing in the World Series?
You
don't have to give a winner.
Oh man,
give me the Arizona Diamondbacks, New York Yankees.
I'm gonna say,
that would be a nice blast from the past.
We'll go this way.
I'm going to say Washington Nationals and Yankees. But one to watch out for is definitely, to me at least, it's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Unless things turn around, we see the battle in the Bay.
No.
The A's and the Giants.
That's the only way you're going to start watching baseball too.
If that happens,
with the Warriors, these people get too much. They get too much.
If that happens, I'm not watching baseball anymore.
The battle in the Bay.
We thought only, it was fun living in Boston for being a sports fan, but
yeah. So Chuckles,
I'd
Series.
I'd go Yankees Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers are on cruise control right now.
I am going to go the Houston Astros against the Dodgers in the MLB Finals.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for tonight with Major League Baseball.
It's the longest we've talked about baseball in any of our combined episodes.
It's the first time we've talked about baseball in any of our episodes.
It was fun, though.
All right. So now we're going to get into the thing that Tony is going to try and kill me for. We're going to get into my top 25 college football teams.
If you hear a door slamming, it's me leaving.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at number 25, reveal 5 at a time, and we'll talk about it that way, okay?
All right.
So at number 25, I have representing the Big 12, the Kansas State Wildcats.
Why?
Well, hold on. Let me get through the 5. At number 24, the Temple Owls out of the American Athletic Conference. Out of the Pac-12 at number 23, I have the Colorado Buffaloes. At 22, out of the Big 12, I have the West Virginia Mountaineers. And to round out my first group of 5, at 21, I have the Tennessee Volunteers from the Southeastern Conference. So let's go 25 through 21. What are your biggest questions? What is where did I go wrong in this grouping?
All of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your biggest gripe?
Actually, that's sarcastic because there's other parts where it's all messed up. But I mean, the list in total is kind of jacked up. But I actually agree with the Colorado pick. I think they should be at 23. I don't know. Colorado is one of those hit or miss teams that either you're going to get a really good year with them or you're not going to. Kansas State, I feel, should be there. I kind of feel like maybe they're a bubble team. They're definitely within the top 30. They always seem to provide at least a good competition in every game they play, as well as have potentials for upsets. Tennessee, I think, should have been ranked a little bit lower than 21. I don't think Tennessee is as good. I think Tennessee always gets some kind of hype in the beginning of the year, and they just constantly disappoint. West Virginia, I believe, should have been higher. I think you should have had them probably somewhere between 15 and 20. If not before that, I think West Virginia is a undervalued team. The only one I really didn't understand for you is Temple. Like,
Okay.
Seriously?
So I'll explain the reason for Temple.
Please do.
Temple went 10-4 last season. They won the American Conference, which is a good conference. They were ranked at the end of the season. So those are things that get that.
They're a good conference in what? Soccer?
No. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Listen, the teams in the American Conference, you have Temple, who was ranked. South Florida, who was ranked. You have Navy, who was ranked. Tulsa, who will probably be ranked. Memphis, who almost went undefeated 2 years ago. This is the Big East without the crappy teams like Syracuse and Rutgers.
Yeah, but again, even further talent. Eastern Carolina, not great. SMU, not great. Tulane, not great. Houston, not going to be good anymore that Harmon's gone. And Cincinnati, UConn. A lot of this is basketball schools in a football conference.
I also have a question.
Yeah.
Where's Boise State?
Boise State, okay, so what I was going to do with revealing my 5 at a time, I was going to do the 5 that just missed out.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Boise State would be my number 26.
Really?
Okay.
Boise State would be my number 26 team. So the reason I have Temple in is because they are just as good as they were last year, if not better, because they started a lot of young players who have a season of ranked football under their belt. They're playing in, as you're saying, a pretty weak conference. In the American Conference, I don't think it's that weak, but they're playing in a winnable conference where they really only have 2 threats, and that are South Florida and Navy, or 3, Tulsa, that can really pose a serious threat to them. As for Tennessee, I was so close to taking Tennessee out of the top 25 because they lost Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, that was my question.
But they have enough play at running back, at defensive line, at linebacker still, where I can justify keeping them in the top 25 to start the season. All right.
I mean, I can see
But
the
they were
start
kind
of
of
the season.
disappointing last year too, even with him.
I mean, that... Yeah, but... The issue, I don't think, was their defense, which is what I'm really basing this off of. Defense... They play in the SEC, which means they have a good defense.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Right, but I don't know that if I see Tennessee, I don't know that it warrants them being where they are. If they were in the top 25 for me, I'd put them at 25. I think Tennessee gets some kind of a couple extra ranks up because of their prestige. It seems to be happening, but I would not be surprised or shocked that 5 weeks into the season they're nowhere to be found.
I wouldn't be surprised either. And like I said, these aren't what I think the final 25 is going to be. These are what I think it's going to be to
start. And that's why I can
start.
justify where you would think Temple in there. I just don't see enough talent in the American football-wise to warrant 2 teams being there. There is one team that deserves to be in the top 25, but it's not Temple.
And we'll talk about them because...
Yeah, I have a feeling you and I are going to agree with that.
Because they're... We'll get to it.
Sheet.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So what else was there? Kansas State, I think they're probably, and you guys will probably disagree with me, the most improved team in the Big 12. So I think starting at 25 is a fair representation. I could honestly argue myself for them to get up to 18 or so based on what they have, what they didn't lose, and what the rest of the country did.
I can see your reasoning. I actually think that they're going to be one of the teams to watch for in the Big 12. But, again, the Big 12 does not give me any confidence in their conference. I think their conference is an extremely weak one. For the Power 5, they're number 5 out of 5.
Did you mention Oregon?
Oh, Oregon's terrible.
Really?
Yeah,
they needed some rebuilding.
Yeah, they won like 3 games last season. Actually, I can
off rooting for the Beavers in Oregon State.
Yeah, I can pull up. Oregon went 4-8 overall, 2-7 in conference.
Oh.
And to touch on Colorado, the reason Colorado's at 23, because I'm a big believer in Colorado, if Sifo Lufa was still with Colorado, if he doesn't graduate, I have them in the top 15, maybe hitting as high as 10. And I don't think any player in college football, except for one, elevates their team as much as Sifo Lufa would have for Colorado.
Who's that player?
What?
Who's that player?
We'll get to it
later.
Yeah, we're going to get to that later.